Blind girl left heartbroken at market. Then she discovered an incredible connection with the PR. Emma clutched the handle of her cane, her heart racing with anticipation as she stepped into the bustling farmer's market. The warmth of the sun enveloped her like a comforting blanket, a stark contrast to the shadows that frequently lurked in her mind. To her, each scent fresh produce, baked goods, and flowers mingled to create an exhilarating environment. But as laughter and music filled the air, this joy was suddenly shattered. A group of popular kids, their voices like sharpened arrows, pierced through her confidence, mocking her for needing the cane. Warmth turned to ice inside her. Tears threatened to spill as an overwhelming sense of invisibility enveloped her. Just a girl too different to fit in. Stumbling away, Emma sought refuge in a quieter corner of the market. There, a worn wooden stand caught her attention. It belonged to Mr. Reynolds, an elderly artist with paint-splattered hands and a heart heavy with his own stories. Their eyes met his, filled with a deep understanding. "You're not alone," he whispered, his voice a soothing balm against her pain. Just like him, she had her own ache, the gnawing doubt of being sightless in a world built around appearances. Together, they began to break down the walls of their solitude, discovering that art could provide the connection they both yearned for. As she spent more time helping Mr. Reynolds array canvases, she felt hope bloom within her. With each stroke of paint under his encouragement, she lost herself in colors and textures, her cane forgotten for a moment. Still, she silently wrestled with the nagging threats of her reality. Her peers would always see her as the blind girl, a tragic figure. Celebrating her art seemed painfully impossible when her own self-worth felt so fragile against their jibes. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Just as life seemed to tilt towards the glorious possibility of an exhibit promoting her art, doubt slammed into her. What if Mr. Reynolds chose to leave her behind for his daughter, who wanted him to abandon their bridge of connections? Her thoughts spiraled. Would a single moment of weakness shatter the fragile relationship they'd built? Torn between her newfound passion and the fear of rejection, she could feel an unrelenting pressure lying on her chest, squeezing out any breath of certainty. As the exhibition's opening night loomed, Emma faced communing fears, stares, whispers, judgments from her peers, an echo ricocheting in her head. The impending dread intertwined with her excitement, leaving her breathless. Would anyone even see her art, or would they simply see the blind girl behind a canvas? Silent tears pooled in her heart. She felt the looming storm of conflict surrounding Mr. Reynolds. Would he stand beside her, or crumble under familial duty and expectations? The night held her in a vice, an unyielding tension between hope and despair hanging heavily in the air, leaving her poised for a battle that could determine her worth and her dreams, but her stomach twisted with uncertainty. Emma felt she was teetering close to a precipice, a breath away from discovering who would feel the plunge into darkness first. Emma stood in the small, sunlit studio, her heartbeat echoing in her ears like a distant drum. Each canvas lined against the wall felt like a challenge, a testament to the battles she was waging within. The exhibition was only days away, but rather than a wave of excitement, she felt engulfed by an overwhelming tide of anxiety. How could she expose her heart when she feared it might just be thrown back at her? Standing face to face with the canvases, each painted scene captured a sliver of her reality and imagination. Yet, what if all they saw was her blindness? The very brushstrokes that brought her joy now weighed heavily on her. Mr. Reynolds had encouraged her to create pieces that resonated with her inner struggles, but what if those struggles rendered her vulnerable? She could envision the whispers among her peers, "Look at the blind girl painting what she can't see." Murmurs of pity or mockery. Would they ever grasp that her art was a bridge to a deeper understanding of life, a life colored not by sight, but by emotion? Determined to confront these unsettling thoughts, Emma resolved to paint again that evening. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, she found comfort in the familiar strokes of the brush gliding across the canvas. Each stroke breathed life back into her spirit, rekindling a tenderness within. In that moment, the world around her dimmed, and only she and the canvas existed. The door creaked open, and Mr. Reynolds stepped in, an air of concern shadowing his face. As he observed her painting, Emma sensed his quiet admiration and the wisdom of his years glistening in his eyes. "You've grown so much, Emma," he said softly, the warmth of his voice drawing her closer to him. "Don't let fear eclipse your growth. It's just. It feels so exposed, Mr. Reynolds. What if they don't see me?" Her voice trembled, betraying the raw uncertainty she struggled to mask. "They will see you, and perhaps they will truly see you in ways others can't." His words hung in the air, an invitation into deep reflection. Emma pondered his reply. Perhaps her art could serve as a bridge to their understanding. It struck her that she had a unique voice, one that could translate the narrative of her experience into something profound. It was then that she remembered their earlier conversations about vulnerability and authenticity in an artist's journey. Could exhibiting her art at the upcoming show be her way of reclaiming her identity? It was more than just showcasing her talent, it was a declaration against the judgments that had long plagued her, a stand against the invisibility she often felt. There was a power in her story, one she could share through her work and perhaps transform the way others perceived her. That night, as she continued to paint fervently, feeling the catharsis wash over her, Emma discovered an unexpected sense of resolve. She wasn't just a girl with a cane, she was an artist, a storyteller, and her canvases were the voices of her strength. In the days leading to the exhibition, she poured her heart into her creations, channeling her emotions into every hue. Tension and excitement danced together, crafting a new symphony of determination within her. As the night approached, she realized she needed to confront not only her audience but also the very essence of her being. An unexpected opportunity arose, one filled with potential, a chance to share her paintings with an old rival of her past, a confrontation that could redefine everything. Emma's heart raced. The moment had come to face not only her fears but the judgments of those who had shaped her insecurities. Would she emerge stronger, or would the shadows of doubt consume her? The morning of the exhibition dawned, piercing through the veil of her dreams with sharp rays of sunlight. Emma lay in bed, her heart flickering between trepidation and resolve. It was the day her art would finally breathe outside the confines of her studio, and as exhilarating as that prospect was, a fresh wave of self-doubt seeped in. Sitting up, she rubbed her eyes and listened closely to the rhythmic sounds of life filtering through her window. Voices, footsteps, the distant clanging of pots, each element made her world feel vibrant yet surreal. Today wasn't merely about showcasing her paintings, it was a confrontation with her past, particularly with Sarah, the competitive artist who had often belittled her work. Their history had been a bitter reminder of her fragility, a constant source of insecurity that threatened to unravel her. Determined to embrace the day ahead, she dressed with care, choosing a deep blue shirt that matched the tone of one of her favorite pieces. Blue had become a color of strength for her, an embodiment of the resolve she wished to express in her art. Standing in front of the mirror, she practiced a smile, though the reflection felt foreign. "Just be yourself, Emma," she whispered, a mantra meant to anchor her thoughts. As she made her way to the venue, the energy of the city seemed to pulse in time with her heartbeat. The streets were alive, a stark contrast to the solitude of her studio. Each step was a reminder of the path she had forged, the countless hours spent painting through the darkness, shaping her vision in a world that often dismissed her capabilities. Upon arrival, the venue buzzed with muted conversations and the clinks of glasses. The art pieces glimmered under the soft lighting, each canvas a testament to the vulnerability she had embraced. As she navigated through the crowd, a familiar voice broke through the noise. Sarah stood before one of Emma's canvases, an inscrutable expression on her face. "Not bad for someone who can't see," Sarah sneered, feigning admiration. Emma felt her breath hitch, but rather than retreat into the shadows of insecurity, she stood her ground. "I don't need to see to feel," she replied, her words firm. "My blindness opens up a different perspective, a deeper understanding of emotion. You of all people should appreciate that, you've always been fixated on appearances." The tension between them was palpable, a silent battle unfolding in front of their peers. Sarah's expression shifted from disdain to surprise, as if Emma had drawn a line in the sand. Perhaps it was not merely about art but a claim of ownership over her story. As the evening progressed, Emma found herself engaging with other attendees, sharing her journey and the inspiration behind each piece. She no longer felt the weight of judgment so heavily. Instead, she witnessed connections blossoming from her vulnerability. Then, just as she began to settle into the unexpected warmth of acceptance, Sarah approached her, a hesitant determination etched upon her face. "I didn't realize how profoundly you express your experiences," she admitted, an edge of sincerity in her tone. "You've made them more tangible than I ever could." The admission hung between them, a bridge extending over years of rivalry. Emma sensed a shift within herself too, an acknowledgement that strength didn't come from isolation but from the willingness to share her truth, even with those who had challenged her. As the night drew to a close, Emma stood before her favorite canvas, an abstract ocean of rage and calm. The waves seemed to pulse, mirroring her journey. This was a moment not just of sharing her art but of reclaiming herself from the judgments that had long lingered. And then, as she turned away, her heart thudded in her chest at the prospect of tomorrow, a chance to pursue opportunities she had once considered unattainable. What awaited her next on this uncharted path, she could only imagine. But one thought lingered in her mind, with an intoxicating thrill: the moment to truly explore her potential was just beginning. The morning light filtered through the window, gently nudging Emma awake, the weight of yesterday's events fresh on her mind. The exhibition had not only revealed her art but had also unearthed a new sense of pride and agency within. Yet, as she stared at the ceiling, her thoughts spiraled. Was it truly a turning point, or just a fleeting moment of courage? Rising from her bed, she found herself reflecting on Sarah's surprising admission. The shift in their dynamic ignited a spark of curiosity in her. What if confronting fear, rather than merely pushing it aside, could lead to unexpected growth? For the first time, Emma began to contemplate the potential of collaboration over competition, a radical departure from her prior mindset. After breakfast, she rummaged through her supplies, her studio transforming into a sanctuary where she could pour her thoughts on canvas. Today, she would paint openly, without embellishing truths. Embracing the spectrum of her emotions would be the focus. Frustration, joy, vulnerability, every color inviting a new narrative. Breath by breath, she felt her hesitance morphing into fiery determination. No longer would she see her blindness as a limitation, it was a conduit allowing her to reach uncharted depths of creativity. As the brush danced over the canvas, the physicality of her work felt charged with purpose. Each stroke articulated her evolving understanding of self-worth and artistry. With her eyes closed, she immersed herself in the feel of the paint, the textures, the smells. The world around her faded, and soon only she and the canvas remained, connected like an old, trusted friend. The day passed in a blur, and eventually, Emma stepped back to examine her creation. What emerged was a bustling landscape, a kaleidoscope of emotions colliding and harmonizing, reflecting the turmoil and hope nestled within her being. It wasn't just a painting, it was a declaration, a visual anthem of her resilience. But as she studied the work, doubts nagged at her. Would this painting resonate with others? Was her perspective valuable in a sea of so many seemingly flawless visions? Pushing aside those insecurities, she decided to share her new piece on social media, inviting feedback from her followers. The vulnerability of putting her heart on display unsettled her, but she recognized it as part of her growth. Texting a friend for encouragement, she sent the image and a hopeful note, seeking assurance in the warmth of companionship. The response was quicker than she expected. Her phone buzzed with comments of admiration, each one a gentle reminder that perhaps her perspective held weight. Encouraged, she reflected on the possibility of showcasing more of her work beyond her walls. Feeling emboldened, Emma began sketching out ideas for a local art collaboration she had dreamed of for years, a community engagement initiative that would connect artists of all abilities. She envisioned workshops where artists explored their experiences together, revealing their truth through collective creativity. The thought invigorated her, a potential pathway blossoming in her mind. that evening, she slept with a lightness in her heart, unburdened by the shadows of her past. But the next day brought an unexpected twist. While researching local artists to enlist for her initiative, messages from Sarah appeared in her inbox. "Can we talk? I want to discuss collaboration." Emma's breath hitched, her mind racing through memories of rivalry, but it was time for a new chapter. Could this be an opportunity to reshape their relationship? Her heart raced at the prospect, both anxious and hopeful. The time had come to face her past and potentially redefine her future. Emma sat at her kitchen table, staring at the blinking cursor on her laptop screen. The message from Sarah felt like a jolt of electricity. It was an invitation, a challenge to confront the specter of their past. As her mind wrestled with conflicting feelings, the images of rivalry and competition loomed large, but she also recognized an ember of hope buried beneath them. She took a deep breath and began typing a response. "I'm open to discussing it. When would you like to meet?" The moment she hit send, a wave of uncertainty washed over her. Had she misread Sarah's intentions? Was this truly an opportunity to mend their relationship, or just a prelude to another confrontation? With a flicker of nervous energy, Emma shifted her focus to her recent painting. Its colors seemed vibrant on the canvas, mirroring her internal conflict. She recalled the immense satisfaction she had felt pouring her emotions onto the canvas, defying limitations. Could she channel that same courage into this new chapter with Sarah? She decided to immerse herself in her paint once more, letting her brush navigate her feelings, both the anxiety and the budding anticipation. The day unfolded with Emma oscillating between painting and awaiting Sarah's response, her mind an unpredictable landscape. Each stroke of the brush felt more liberated and less shackled by the past. She knew the connection with Sarah meant confronting old wounds, but it also symbolized an opportunity for growth. Maybe collaboration wasn't merely about sharing ideas, it was about discovering strengths and vulnerabilities, something she had never considered before. When Sarah's reply finally arrived, it was concise and straightforward. "How about tomorrow at the coffee shop?" Emma felt her pulse quicken. There was something thrilling about how immediate it was. She needed a plan. For the first time, she wanted to approach a situation with intention, rather than letting the past dictate her reaction. An impulse to rewrite their narrative surged within her. Maybe this meeting could serve as the beginning of uncharted territory, where they could redefine who they were to one another. The night before their meeting, Emma meticulously prepared. She reflected on the importance of synergy over rivalry, drafting notes about possible collaboration ideas for their potential initiative. With each bullet point, her confidence grew. These weren't merely suggestions, they were seeds of a partnership that could blossom into something beautiful, if only they could navigate the treacherous waters of their history. When she finally arrived at the coffee shop, her heart raced, but once she stepped inside, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee seemed to envelop her like a comforting blanket. She located a small table in the corner, its position providing both a clear view and a little distance. In her mind, she rehearsed an opening line, something that would set a collaborative tone without digging into their past too deeply. Sarah strode in moments later, the tension in her expression evident. The years of rivalry hung in the air like invisible threads, pulling at the edges of both women's thoughts. As their eyes met, Emma felt the weight of potential. "Hey," she began with a soft smile, carefully threading her emotions into the conversation. "I really think we can create something impactful together." The words hung, charged with hope and uncertainty. Would Sarah reciprocate? Or would she retreat back into the safety of their historical tension? Emma felt her anxiety twist into resolve. Whatever the outcome, the effort alone said something about her growth. As Sarah sat down, Emma sensed a change in the air around them. They were, for the first time, faced not with competition but with collaboration. Yet, had Emma truly readied herself for the conversation ahead? As they settled into their coffee and began to speak, Emma couldn't shake an uncomfortable feeling. What if old resentments dashed their attempts? The moment was poised on a precipice, both exhilarating and fraught with uncertainty. Emma observed Sarah as she settled into the chair across from her. The coffee shop buzzed around them, an orchestra of muffled conversations, clinking cups, and steaming machines, each sound a reminder of the world outside this delicate moment. She felt the weight of their history closing in, like a fog threatening to suffocate the newfound possibilities that lingered in the space between them. "Thanks for meeting me," Sarah said, breaking the silence. Her voice was steady but lacked the warmth Emma had hoped for. "Of course," Emma replied, carefully choosing her words. "I know it's been a while since we've had a productive conversation." "I'd say it's been a while since we really talked," Sarah interjected, her gaze sharp. It was a subtle reminder of their past tension, and Emma felt a slightly familiar sting. She had anticipated this reaction but couldn't let it deter her resolve. "I think there's potential for us to do something great together. It's time we put the past behind us," Emma said, her voice firm but calm. She felt the strength of her intention solidifying like the pigments in her paintings. Sarah's brow furrowed, as if considering the sincerity behind Emma's words. "You really believe that?" "I do," Emma insisted, momentarily glancing at her notes which lay surreptitiously on the table. Each point outlined a vision for a collaboration that transcended their previous rivalry. "When we were at our best, we complemented each other's strengths. We just lost sight of that." The slight tension in Sarah's posture shifted, but only slightly. "It's hard to forget the way things ended. There was always this unhealthy competition between us." Emma took a deep breath, the words she had prepared wrestling for space in her mind. "But I think we can redefine that competition. Instead of seeing each other as adversaries, we could be partners, focusing on our common goals." Sarah's expression softened just a bit, confusion dancing with contemplation. Emma felt a rush of hope and leaned in. "What if we brainstorm ideas together? Not as rivals, but as two creative minds coming together to bring a vision to life." A flicker of something new appeared in Sarah's eyes, a spark of curiosity or perhaps a challenge. "Okay, but what would that look like?" Emma felt emboldened. This was at the moment to pivot from fear to possibility. They began discussing ideas, weaving their thoughts together over sips of coffee. The discomfort eased slightly as they shared aspirations, Emma carefully navigating the conversation towards concepts that highlighted their respective talents. "Maybe we could combine our art styles for a unique exhibition that showcases our individual journeys," Emma suggested, watching Sarah's face. "It would highlight the evolution we've each gone through rather than the conflict." For the first time, Sarah didn't look merely skeptical. She considered the idea, her fingers tapping thoughtfully on the table. "It's interesting. I see a lot of potential in that." Emma felt a swell of pride. This was more than just collaborative brainstorming, it represented a shift from past fragmentation to new synergy. Yet doubt loomed. Had they truly bridged the chasm? What if Sarah's skepticism surged back, overshadowing their progress? "That doesn't mean it'll be easy," Sarah cautioned, her expression unyielding again. "We'll need to navigate the sensitive history we share. I'm willing to face that. I'd like us to learn from each other." Emma's voice carried her conviction, yet uncertainty clung to her words like an unfathomable backdrop. While they conversed, Emma's mind raced through the emotional landscape of the past few years. Each road they could take filled her with both excitement and apprehension. Would they have the courage to face their unresolved issues as deftly as they discussed collaborative possibilities? As the conversation flowed, an electric undercurrent coursed between them. The weight of their past still hung like dark clouds, but perhaps the sun was beginning to break through. "What if I'm not the collaborator you think I am?" Sarah asked. Suddenly, vulnerability slipping into her tone, Emma's heart raced. The moment had arrived, not merely for collaboration but for raw honesty. "Then we'll discover that together," she replied, determined. "Let us find out who we are now, not who we were." As Sarah nodded, a tentative smile broke through. Yet still, something in Emma's gut twisted. Would this newfound collaboration forge a bond or crumble under scrutiny of the past? The tension lay ripe, pregnant with potential, ready to either deliver a wonderful partnership or unravel their fragile reparations. Emma felt the ground shift beneath her, uncertain of which direction it would lead. One undeniable truth emerged: the true exploration had just begun. What lay ahead could either fracture their tentative alliance or cement a foundation for growth. The real challenge beckoned just beyond their current conversation, waiting to be unearthed. Emma left the coffee shop, a swirl of emotions compelling her thoughts. The weight of her conversation with Sarah lingered, resting heavily on her shoulders. Just hours earlier, she had felt buoyed by hope and inkling that they could build something meaningful together. But with every step, doubt crept back in, whispering reminders of their tumultuous history. The streets bustled with life, but Emma found herself in her own world, mulling over how best to approach this new collaboration. As she made her way home, she replayed their exchange like a film, each dialogue a scene that shifted her understanding of both Sarah and herself. They were not adversaries, they were two individuals shaped by their experiences, both scarred by their past yet yearning for a path toward a brighter future. The following days were a tightrope walk between reality and ambition. Emma began sketching ideas for their collaborative project, each brushstroke a testament to her determination to be a part of something bigger than herself. She outlined a proposal, merging their artistic styles in ways that mirrored their unique journeys. The potential exhibition would not only showcase their talents but also symbolize the reconciliation of their past, yet, even in isolation, contemplating their partnership stoked her uncertainties. What made her think that this time would be different? What if Sarah didn't view the collaboration as a chance to heal but instead as an obligation born from desperation? Each question gnawed at her, and for every idea she birthed, fragments of self-doubt amalgamated, threatening to unravel her newfound confidence. After a week of solitary exploration, Emma finally reached a tipping point. She invited Sarah to her studio, hoping that immersing themselves in a shared creative environment would spark inspiration and encourage open communication. But as she set up the space, her resolve wavered. What if the conversation faltered? What if they fell back into old patterns, weaving discord instead of collaboration? Those thoughts hung thick in the air when Sarah arrived, her presence commanding the room like a sudden thunderstorm. Emma greeted her, attempting to mask her trepidation with a bright smile. "I thought we could brainstorm more about our exhibition," she suggested, the words slipping out, eager yet faltering. Sarah's eyes darted around the room, absorbing its eclectic chaos: paintbrushes strewn upon tables, canvases half-finished, splashes of color blending together in a creative tapestry. Emma watched as Sarah, for a moment, fell quiet, processing the energy of the space. Then, she moved closer to a canvas, studying it intently. Emma's heart raced. This simple action seemed to bridge a gap, drawing them closer into their shared passions. "I've seen those colors in your work before," Sarah said, her expression shifting from vigilant to intrigued. "It's like they're telling a story." Emma's spirits lifted. "Exactly. Each layer represents a part of my journey. I thought we could fashion a narrative that encompasses both of us. Our stories intertwined." As they discussed various themes, the air between them shifted, tentativeness gave way to a growing excitement. Their synergy transformed tangible and electric, each idea igniting the other's creativity. For every doubt Emma had harbored, Sarah countered with insight, prompting Emma to dig deeper into what her art represented. Their energies collided with explosive creativity, developing concepts that distinguished their individual styles while generating new strokes of artistic expression. But just when the atmosphere began to feel like a stable foundation, Sarah hesitated, her brow furrowing. "Emma, are we sure this won't just be another disappointment? I can't shake the past." Emma's heart sank as they circled back to the tension she was desperate to leave behind. Still, a flicker of determination sparked within her, a choice anchored in self-belief. "We'll never know if we don't try," Emma replied, swallowing the fear that clawed at her. "This is bigger than us. It's about evolving. Let us not imprison ourselves within routines of past failures. We can redefine our narrative." As hesitation painted Sarah's features, Emma's own uncertainty mingled with fierce resolve. They stood at a precipice. Would they plunge back into their historical turmoil, or would they break through that wall into unknown territory? Emma felt the gravity of the moment, aware of the precariousness of trust, with this new resolve simmering beneath her skin, Emma reached for her brush, ready to paint their new tale one stroke at a time. The challenge lay just beyond their paint-splattered canvases. What would happen if they confronted the shadows that haunted them together? Emma couldn't shake the thought that the worst was yet to come. The true test of their partnership would soon begin, and the real art would emerge from the conflict they needed to face. In the days that followed, the studio became a battleground for both creation and confrontation. As Emma and Sarah worked side by side, color and chaos intertwined, reflecting the complex web of their histories. The air crackled as they navigated their artistic differences, each moment a reminder of the tightrope they walked between collaboration and conflict. Emma struggled to harness an inspiration that felt almost elusive. Her mind, a swirl of hues and shadows, constantly circled back to their past encounters, moments that had driven wedges between them. Each time Sarah offered a suggestion or critique, Emma's gut tightened. What if Sarah just saw flaws instead of potential? What if each brushstroke drew them closer to the edge of a familiar chasm? With every palette mixed and canvas marked, Emma felt her insecurities arise anew. She attempted to banish her self-doubt by pouring her heart into the work, but the specter of their previous fallout loomed, questioning her resolve. Would this endeavor only serve to awaken the ghosts of past failures? Yet, as they delved deeper, Emma also unearthed an unexpected strength. Something shifted when Sarah spoke about her own artistic journey, a passion intertwined with personal loss and redemption. Listening, Emma found herself captivated, her anxieties easing as she recognized their shared vulnerabilities. They were both trying to reclaim something fractured and lost. On one particularly tempestuous afternoon, the atmosphere thickened with unspoken tension. As they contemplated a particularly intricate piece and intertwining of their styles, Emma felt a surge of frustration. The voices of doubt began to swell within her, urging her to retreat, to encapsulate herself in safety. It was like being pulled underwater, the weight of expectation pressing down on her. Why does everything have to be so convoluted? Emma snapped, tossing down her brush in exasperation. I thought we were creating something new, something that didn't just remind us of the past. Sarah turned sharply, her expression a mix of surprise and hurt. I thought you wanted this, Emma. I thought we were doing this together. In that charged moment, Emma confronted the raw honesty of Sarah's words. They had chosen to dance with their demons, yet, here they were, clashing like titans over their differences instead of forging a stronger alliance. The realization that their actions mirrored their earlier conflicts was jarring. Here was the rub. They needed to speak openly, to address the fears lurking just beneath the surface. Taking a tentative step forward, Emma sighed, we can't carve out a future without acknowledging our past, can we? Sarah's eyes softened, revealing the walls she'd built around her heart. Maybe that's what I'm scared of, facing the reality of what happened. But maybe we can redefine it together. The conversation carried a sense of invigoration, the momentum shifting as they slowly began to dismantle the wall of apprehension. Their dialogue unfolded, revealing unvoiced feelings, fears, and a vision of what they could create together, a narrative beyond the fractures. In their vulnerability, Emma uncovered an unexpected connection, a newfound camaraderie forged under the weight of shared experiences. They resumed working, but now the air between them felt electric, charged with understanding. The colors on the canvas melded and swirled, layers intertwining chaotically yet beautifully. Emma discovered the magic that happened when she released her grip on control and allowed openness into her process, but lurking within this newfound harmony, a subtle unease began to creep in. What if the breakthroughs unzipped emotions that were better left undisturbed? Emma realized that the distance from doubt was precariously thin. One misstep could send them spiraling back into chaos. As they painted, Emma couldn't shake the looming thought that deeper truths were waiting to burst forth, truths that could either illuminate their path forward or fracture the fragile bridge they had just built. The challenge ahead grew clearer. They would need to face their shadows not just together but bravely, openly. With brush in hand, she glimpsed the path they were carving. Just beyond the horizon of their creative partnership lay the shadows, waiting in anticipation. What lay ahead would demand courage, and Emma knew they were on the brink of an unexpected confrontation that could redefine who they were as artists and as individuals. What haunting revelations awaited them in the journey toward their collaborative dream? The days drifted into a blur of paint and tension as Emma stood before their latest canvas, overwhelmed by the mixture of colors and emotions. Each stroke of the brush felt like a gamble, a chance taken with the potential for beauty or disaster. The rawness of her past with Sarah loomed large, a specter that both inspired and paralyzed her. Would this moment coalesce into something meaningful, or lead to the same regrets she had felt before? As she dipped her brush into cerulean blue, Emma felt a warmth spread through her, a flicker of possibility igniting in the depths of her hesitations. She turned toward Sarah, who was caught in her own reverie, contemplating a blend of ochre and green that spoke to the earthiness they both craved. There lay their common ground, an intersection of trauma and creativity that had brought them here, to this moment of vulnerable exploration. "Do you ever think about why we paint?" Emma asked, her voice quieter than she intended, almost lost against the backdrop of brushwork and music playing softly in the studio. Sarah blinked, as though awakened from a trance. "You mean, other than to escape?" The electricity in the room shifted. Sarah's question echoed in Emma's mind. Escape? Or venture into the truth, to confront what lay buried beneath the layers of their artistic personas? Yeah, something like that. Maybe it's a search for meaning or connection. For a heartbeat, Sarah's gaze flickered, revealing thoughts unspoken. "I paint to remember," she admitted, her tone heavy with unshed feelings. "Every stroke holds a memory, a piece of who I am. But it feels like I often drown in it instead of rise." Emma nodded, a wave of understanding washing over her. The familiarity tugged at something deep within her. "I get that. But what if remembering also meant healing?" The air became thick with the weight of that prospect. Together, they stood before the canvas, the ambition of their project slowly morphing into something more profound, a collective journey not just of creation but of healing. Yet, a nagging thought chewed at Emma's resolve. Was she ready to truly face the submerged wounds that painting could unearth? Every brushstroke could unveil truths that were ready to emerge, some she might not be ready to confront. Her pulse quickened as she processed this realization. What if their artistic endeavor became a catalyst for deeper revelations that neither artist had anticipated? A soft rustle pulled Emma from her thoughts. Sarah began to paint, her strokes now filled with frenetic energy, perhaps laced with her need to find simplicity within chaos. Emma felt the stirring of inspiration within her as she watched Sarah pour herself onto the canvas, a testament to vulnerability. Determined, Emma dipped her brush into a vibrant crimson, a color that embodied both passion and pain. They were driven artists standing at the edge of an abyss, and this was not merely about art, it was about identity, reconciliation, and the history forged in the fires of their shared past. As they continued creating, the art before them became a dialogue, a dance of colors that articulated their fears, hopes, and triumphs. The canvas morphed into an intricate tapestry of their interwoven stories, the energy between them pulsating through the paint. But with this evolution came a terrifying realization: the shadows they were confronting might lead them into a darkness neither of them was fully prepared to explore. Just as momentum surged, the studio's door swung open unexpectedly, interrupting their creative flow. Both Emma and Sarah turned, feeling a chill of apprehension mixed with curiosity. It was James, an old acquaintance from the art community, stepping inside with a look that hinted at urgency and concern. "Emma, I need to talk to you about something important," he said, his gaze darting between her and Sarah, unaware of the fragile journey they were navigating. At that moment, the layers of their artistic endeavor felt fragile, like an unfinished piece teetering on the brink of revelation. Emma's heart raced as James's words became a threat and a potential breakthrough. What crucial news awaited her outside the confines of their artistic bubble, and how would it impact the delicate alliance she was trying to forge with Sarah? Emma could sense that whatever it was, it would either solidify their newfound connection or shatter their fragile trust into pieces once more. In the aftermath of the exhibition, Emma had emerged not only as a budding artist but as someone who now stood firm in her beliefs. The vibrant colors of her canvases reflected her growth and transformation as they unveiled layers of emotion, aspects of her narrative once hidden. The confidence that had blossomed within her filled her up like a canvas rich with meaning, yet her journey was far from over. Days after that pivotal exhibition, she stood in her studio, a space that had felt both daunting and hopeful. Memories of Sarah flooded in, their initial rivalry, the tension of their collaboration, and the unexpected connection they had cultivated. Emma had finally recognized that art could serve as both a title and a weapon in the war she had waged against self-doubt. The realization that Sarah's perspectives, and even critiques, could be catalysts for growth motivated Emma to push further. She poured herself into her art, not merely creating but also re-examining the narratives that lived between the strokes. Each painting transformed into an exploration of vulnerability, confronting fears and embracing imperfections. Emma's public acknowledgement of her identity as an artist blossomed into camaraderie with Sarah. Together, they had begun building a platform for aspiring artists, offering workshops to those who faced insecurities similar to their own. Their collaboration not only rekindled their individual creative spirits but also laid a foundation for healing and unearthing of shared experiences, fostering genuine connections within a community seeking acceptance. One evening, while preparing for a newly planned collaborative art workshop, Emma received a phone call that would forever mark her journey. A prestigious local gallery wanted to showcase her work in a solo exhibition, a clear testament to her transformation. It served as a recognition of her commitment, growth, and the narrative she had forged with her art. Standing on the cusp of showcasing her work, Emma realized this opportunity was more than an acknowledgement of her talent, it was a profound validation of her autonomy. No longer would she be viewed merely as the blind girl. She had proven that her art could elicit understanding, compassion, and transformation. Emma's heart swelled with pride, knowing this exhibited journey would celebrate her resilience and ability to overcome perceived limitations. On the day of her opening, attendees flocked into the gallery to admire her art, the pieces created not only from brushstrokes but from experiences. Emma greeted viewers confidently. Her voice resonated with an authority forged through vulnerability. "Welcome to my world, where every color tells a story, a narrative shaped by overcoming fear and embracing authenticity," she announced, her smile genuine and radiant. Nearby, Sarah mingled with guests, sharing snippets of their evolving partnership, how they turned a world of competition into support and collaboration. The air buzzed with excitement, bolstered by the newfound understanding that each individual carried their truth, and together they comprised a mosaic of artists, each uniquely expressive. As the evening wound down, Emma stood alone amidst her art, a feeling of immense satisfaction consuming her. Each canvas stood not merely as an expression of beauty, but as conclusive evidence of her individual growth. The energy in the gallery reflected her journey, an invitation for others to rethink their definitions of ability and identity. This moment marked the end of one journey and the exciting beginning of another, one paved with self-acceptance, public recognition, and shared experiences. Emma had grounded herself, not in the limitations of her blindness, but in the boundless reach of her creativity. The ties with her past had not only contributed to her growth but had emphasized that every voice, especially those that feel silenced, deserves to be uplifted and celebrated. Emma conquered her fears, embraced vulnerability, and blossomed into a fully realized version of herself. The strength radiating through her art encapsulated not just her story but the collective narratives of every artist daring enough to seek authenticity, create connection, and celebrate their truth. You need to subscribe now to our channel if you want to see how Emma's journey continues and inspire your own path of personal overcoming. This is the moment to show your support. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help others discover Emma's remarkable story. Comment with your thoughts about Emma's transformation and what it means to you. And wait even one more second to share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this conclusion, because stories of personal triumph are meant to be celebrated far and wide.